Today, Suella braverman has accused Labour of campaigning to keep criminals on the street. This is rhetoric. I'm not a Labour supporter, but I'm not a supporter at all of this Home Secretary. I think she is deeply wrong. I think this distortion of truth will come back to bite her in the backside. It's wrong. And it's a perversion of justice. So if people are criminals, then they shouldn't be allowed on the streets. They should be in prison if they're criminals. And how do we find that out? We pursue arrest warrants, we try them, we put them in prison. If they're not criminals, then they have every right to stay here and apply for whatever benefit they are entitled to, whether that is asylum or PIP or whatever it is. So Ernestine Elliot was allowed to stay and killed. Akiva Heaven served 4 years behind bars, was released in 2018, and was then found guilty of dealing cocaine again. Barrington Lang, jailed last November for carrying a knife. And so on. The list goes on. There's apparently 7 people who are identified who could have been deported, but have not been deported. They've not been deported because at the time, they were not guilty of any crime. They might have had suspicions hanging over them, in which case it was the job of the Home Office and the police to bring charges against them. We can't be deporting people simply because we don't like the colour of their face. That is wrong. We must process the migrants who are coming to our shores quicker. And those who have fraudulent claims for asylum must be rejected and must be sent home or sent to a suitable alternative country. They can't stay in our country if they have no reason for their request, if it's fraudulent. But we don't know that if the Home Office is on a go slow, which it has been ever since Mrs. May started her hostile environment. That's what it means in practice, that nobody really does any work. It's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And we can't start blaming other parties for the failures that have been implemented by the Conservative Party and the Home Office. The Home Office was, even before Mrs. May, a problem office. It was a problem ministry. Mrs. May's tenure made it worse, as arguably Mrs. May's tenure in number 10 Downing Street made it worse. But we can't blame the Labour Party for that. And Suella braverman is absolutely wrong. So if she thinks she can win a headline with this claim after she's already won a headline with somebody shouting at her and saying, go away, and migrants are welcome here in Essex, in Chelmsford, she's on a ticket to nothing. This is old news.